I'm a Believer by the Monkees, also used for the Shrek soundtrack, should be something like this. Now I've sort of simplified it into a much easier key because I use this quite often for the younger students that are new to playing guitar. And out of the key of A, it's quite easy to sing along. The chords are nice and easy. So yes, this isn't the original key, but it's going to work really well for you. We're going to look at basic chords like A and E and D and things like that. We're going to look at the middle part when then I saw her face. Nice offbeat timing, so really a cool study. Okay, enough talking, let's get going. We're going to start looking at the basic chord shapes. So we're going to revise our open chords, and we're going to start with A. There are two ways to play the A chord. The more sort of contemporary version is to put finger 1 on the 4th string from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, middle finger number 2, my fingers are numbered quite clearly, onto the 3rd string, and then the ring finger number 3 squeezes in also into the 2nd fret. So we have all 3 fingers in the 2nd fret on strings 4, 3, and 2. This is A chord, and we strum from the 5th string, which should sound like this, and then we go through like that. That's my A chord. Now, I've got fat little fingers and they're battling to get in there. So what I like doing is I swap fingers 1 and 2 around. Watch slowly. 2 comes up and 1 comes down. And I find I've got a little bit more space, but I'm happy with either way you play for A. As long as you're playing an A, that's cool. Next chord up is E. Now you'll find these diagrams also on the PDF that I sent you. If you need a copy of the PDF, drop me a WhatsApp or email me. I'll send it to you with pleasure, no charge. And your E chord, finger 1, is going to go string 3 from the bottom, 1st fret. Middle finger goes 5th string from the bottom, and the ring finger directly underneath it. And for the E chord, we're strumming all 6 strings, nothing special there. Now I'm going to quickly go through to the strumming pattern so we can see how to start piecing this together. Now, as we said, we simplified it. Your strumming pattern is on the PDF file. It's going to sound something like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or if you're thinking of strumming directions, down, down, up, up, down. But the trick is to keep your hand moving. Don't stop the hand, because then you lose your rhythm, you lose the flow of your hand's rhythmic movement. So we're going to do A through once, which means you're going to make it sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then you're going to go to E. You can see the changes happening there. Here's the E chord. And you strum also once through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then you go back to A. But you'll notice on the PDF there's a little red ×2. That means you play A twice. First time, second time. Then you go to the next line. Now if you look at the first line, I thought love was only in fairy tales, and the second line meant for someone else, not for me. The chords are the same, so it's A, E, A, another A, next line A for a 3rd time, back to E, and then A twice again. So let's play through that together super slow. Are you ready? I'm going to try and get more of an overview now so you can see both left hand and right hand a bit better. Remember as well, I said that's the conventional A. I like swapping those 2 around, so again I'm not fussy about which A you use as long as it sounds good. Here goes: 1, 2, 3 and 4 and... Second line. Then it goes to D. Let's have a quick look at the D chord. I'm quite convinced we all know D by now, hopefully. Finger 1 goes 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. Middle finger goes number 1 at the bottom, very bottom string. Both fingers 1 and 2 in the 2nd fret. And then your ring finger number 3 goes on the 2nd string from the bottom, 3rd fret. And you only strum 4 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your D. Now I'm going to zoom out again. And we're going to see how D goes to A, back to D, back to A, back to D, back to A, and then to E. And watch for the stop when we get to the E. But let's first of all work through D and A. It's 1 bar of each. In other words, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A and 2 and 3 and 4. D and A. D times D and A, and then you go to E. But what's the E? You're going to play 2 bars, but you're only strumming the first beat of the second bar. So it's going to sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you still count the full 4 beats, just let it ring. Okay, I would like you now to try now and play through the entire first verse the whole way through. We're going to try and change the angle a little bit over here to try and get more of an overview of the strumming hand, and let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4 and second line. Wait for someone else. Third line, D. Love was out to get me. Second time. Last line, disappointment. And here comes E. All my dreams, 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. 2, 3, 4. And then he sings about, then he saw her face, and you have. Now I like this part, it's quite sneaky, it's got a nice little offbeat, and the strumming pattern for it is on the PDF too. It says chorus strumming, but I just want to show you something quickly with the chord changes. If you're playing from normal A to D, not a big change. There's my D, a bit closer, A, D, A, D. But if you try the other method of playing A, I'll just show you again. There's the conventional A, more traditional. I swap finger 1 and 2. I take those and swap them around. So 2 goes up, 1 comes down. Now the advantage of this, when I go from A to D, watch finger number 1. Finger 1 doesn't move. So that's just one little bonus why I like this particular transition and having my first finger swapped around. But it's not a big deal. Okay, that's really your own decision. I've got lots of students that prefer the traditional and a few that prefer the new one. We've got our A lined up. You strum it twice because under the chorus strumming pattern, you'll see there's 2 arrows pointing down on the A, on the count of 1 and 2. When you go to 3 and 4, you strum down again, twice on D. Then for the next bar, back to 1 and 2. So far so good. So your first 1.5 bars should sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A and A and D and D and A and A. Now comes the only sneaky part that sometimes catches us. On that second A, when you strum down, you come immediately back up, but while on the chord D. One more time, watch my changes: down on A, up on D. So try and practice this first. Try and practice the change. If I play the more traditional A, also works well. But try and get that change because you need that offbeat. The up strum is on the and. Those are your offbeats. And it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or down, down, up, down. Now if we put that entire progression together, you're going to have this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, D, D, A, D, D. And that 4 times in a row, a little bit quicker. So when he sings, then I saw her face, it works really, really well. Now the last 4 chords, when he sings I'm in love, okay, those last 4 chords, you simply strum each chord once and let it ring. And there's a G chord which we haven't used yet. It's the last chord of the chorus. And for those that are new to guitar, for G, finger 1 goes onto the 5th string from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Middle finger goes to the top in the 3rd fret, and ring finger goes all the way to the bottom, also in the 3rd fret. And that's your G. That's your chorus. So it's nice and easy. Now underneath that on your tab sheet, there's a very cool little part that sounds like this. Okay, that's quite sneaky, but it's got a technique called a hammer-on, and let's see what it's all about. We're going to look at the first 2 notes, the 0, which is the open 4th string. So if you look at my picking hand here, I'm playing the 4th string, and nothing's happened here. I'm going to take my middle finger, and I'm going to hit onto the string. Watch this. 1, 2. So you can see it. this finger is triggering or making the 2 sound. But if I come in too slow, I kill the string. So it's very important, not slow like that, but when you hit, it must be a very quick movement. So not this, that's too quick, but when you hit it must be hard. Now the third note is the 0, the open third string. So your first 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, do that twice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now some guitarists might favor their first finger, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't really mind if you use finger 1 or finger 2. I like the middle fingers nice and strong and it hits hard, but I'm dead happy with finger 1 as well. Now after you've done that twice, you'll notice there's another 0 too, but no 0 underneath it. In fact, there's a line to separate saying you're going to the next bar. So your first bar should sound like this. Try play with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you play them twice in a row, it's going to get a different angle. Can't see my picking hand now, but you can see the movement quite nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or correct counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and twice in a row you're going to have this. And that's your basic introduction for I'm a Believer. Now remember, as we said in the beginning, in case you missed that, we've changed the key to make it easier, but it works really, really well. I hope you enjoy this. Any questions, drop me a WhatsApp. Happy to help. Take care. Cheers for now.